Welcome back. So today I'm working with a new light. It's smaller and less likely to reflect in my glasses or the glass in the background, whatever. And I've been trying to adjust it, see what I like, what's going to do the best job, which is not easy because my helper right here, yes, he thinks that anytime I touch the light, I'm playing with a cat that's not him. So he has been very proactive in the whole process. I think he will not be able to steal this one, which is why I got it. It actually clips onto a surface instead of standing independently. When they stand independently, he can grab them, steal them, and run with them. When they're clipped on a surface, it's not quite so easy. Do you want to see everybody? Yes. They want to know what a bad kitty looks like. So today we are back at the fancy schmancy basement. We are going to take a look at some art, some accessories, and I'm going to tell you what I stole while I was there. All right, we'll be back in a minute. So where we left off last time was in the art section, and we had begun looking at some prints. So there's more to that art section. So I took a quick look in there. By the way, if you like the art, I could probably do, yes, I got you, a whole video just on the art, because I grabbed what I thought was a representative sampling of what they had, mostly because the basement is very large. So we are going to take a look at some more unusual art now. So we have two pieces over here, animals. We have a little elephant end table that's $40. I can't find a price on this little mini carousel horse. I also can't find a tail on it. So it's entirely possible the price tag was attached to the tail and they both wandered away. Look at these. Now, these, I suspect, are images that came out of a picture book. $40. Beautiful Native American images in what would have been considered traditional tribal clothing by the Western artists who were painting these pictures and then publishing them, but what was in fact more likely special occasion regalia. One of the problems with our mental image of what Native American life was like is the fact that people painted Native Americans in a certain way, and we came to think that was how they dressed in everyday life. But no, just like the rest of us, they dressed up for the portrait. His problem, by the way, is that we are in the bedroom, and he thinks, therefore, it must be bedtime. And, bedtime means blankets and pillows and cuddle and all these great things for a cat. You're shedding all over me, dear. So, yeah, it kind of sets him in a very affectionate mood. And he's not leaving. All right. The art. Let me take a minute to talk about those Native American images. That's something that was, well, I understand how it happened. Western artists would come to the Americas, and this is as early as the 17th century. They would come here. They would see native peoples, and the native peoples would sit for portraits. And they would do what everyone does when they sit for portraits. They would put on their best clothing. The portraits would then go back to Europe, and people would say, aha, this is what Native American people look like. Like, no, this is what Native American people look like when they're all dolled up for their portraits. It's like, how silly not to consider that. The good thing is that we have some very good documentation of what a tribal regalia looked like. In some cases, some of the artists who were passing through would do quick sketches, and we have images of people at work, at play, at whatever they were doing, you know, in their ordinary lives. So we do have those images, but for some reason, everybody seems to think that the Plains natives were running around in these fabulous war bonnets, and, oh yeah, this is how they look when they go to battle. It's like, no, it isn't. That would be ridiculous. You can't win a war with a giant feathered headpiece dragging on the ground behind you. It's cute in its way. It led to a lot of misunderstanding about the real nature of Native culture. But I find that something's just profoundly charming about it, that, you know, it just didn't occur to the Europeans that the Native Americans did exactly what the Europeans did. If they were going to have a portrait painted, they put on their best clothes. Like, how do you miss that? Anyway, I thought those pictures were really nice. They do have a lot of other interesting artwork there. When I left the art section, there is a section as you're moving toward clothing, which has a lot of wigs. I've shown you that before, so I didn't bother to do too much with the wigs this time, just sort of a passing overview, and went right over to an area where they had at least one scarf that I was very impressed with. So let's take a look. Well, we have a whole bunch of wigs in the back, and we are moving into the clothing section. This is an enormous scarf. The colors really caught me. Price $15. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. But who knows? That may end up coming home with me. I do love those colors. And it is big enough to wrap around your entire family. No, I did not get that scarf. I thought about it. And then my attention wandered, and I found something else. Excuse me, I still have cat hair all over me. My attention wandered. I went somewhere else. I found something else, and just never occurred to me to go back for it. Although I have to say I like the colors. It's definitely very bright. We will pick up more on scarves in a minute, but now we're coming in just a quick view of the wigs, and let me show you what I stole from the store. Well, we are moving past our wig displays over here because I have to be honest with you, there's something slightly creepy to me about buying a used wig. And right over here to Asian import China. Now, these pieces are all fairly modern. Most of them are in a pattern that we know as blue willow or canton, which is, these are blue and white patterns. We've got some jewelry over here. Pretty pieces. Definitely. Ooh, I like that. I assume, in fact, this is how it's supposed to hang. A lovely asymmetrical style. How much are you? $4. No, those are the earrings. Let's see if we can find a price on the necklace. No. Okay, I cannot find a price on the necklace. The earrings are attached to the necklace, and I am going to have to assume it's $4 for both. That is a really pretty piece. And at $4, I cannot resist. So this is coming home with me. This is going to be a giveaway piece. Yeah, so I picked up that necklace. I said, this is going to be a great giveaway piece. I dropped it in my bag. And when I went to check out, I fished around in my bag to take everything else. Well, the necklace had fallen down into the bottom, and it was so tiny down in the bottom of the bag. And I'm used to pulling out, good heavens, it's amazing the stuff I pull out of my bag when I'm shopping. But I'm used to pulling out big porcelain trays and bowls and whatever. So the next day, when I was clearing out my bag, there it was. And I found it at about 8 o'clock in the morning and had to wait 2 hours until the store opened. And then I called and said, look, I took this. I'm so sorry. It was an oversight. I didn't mean to do it. And they were so kind about it because I was very embarrassed. I mean, I stole from them. And they just said, grab the tag, give us the $4 the next time you're in the store. It's not a big deal. So they were really so very, very nice about it. But yes, that was totally embarrassing. And I thought, I'm going to have to talk about this. Otherwise, the guilt is going to haunt me, and I'm going to run around being embarrassed, thinking, oh, everybody who sees me is going to know I stole. And honestly, like a 5-year-old kid getting caught with my hand in the cookie jar. So I thought you would get a kick out of that. That, by the way, is going to be a giveaway piece. I thought it was a really just interesting, pretty little necklace. And so we're going to have the stolen necklace giveaway. And what we're going to do, we're probably going to do that tomorrow. It's just going to be, one of our usual quickie giveaways. Write in and say, glad you stole that necklace for me, and, we're good to go. But yes, I will be paying for the necklace. If I keep this sort of thing up, they're either not going to let me go back to the store, or they are just going to assume that I am so old, I am getting completely senile and have no idea what I'm picking up anymore. And the thing is, that's a little closer to the truth than I care to admit sometimes, because when I am in a place like that, booth after booth, and looking at one item after the next, I really do tend to forget what I've stuck in my bag. And I'll surprise myself when I go to the register and say, oh, I didn't know I picked that up. So anyway, that's my embarrassing moment. See, when I have you folks, I really don't need a therapist. This is really good for me, really bad for the therapist. All right, next up, rugs. Well, they have some gorgeous rugs in here. We've got 2 runners here. Despite the fact that they look old, I suspect they are actually modern pieces designed to replicate the look of antiques. Lovely. I wonder if they're for sale. Over here, beautiful little piece. And again, I wonder if they're for sale. nice pieces. Let's take a look over here. We have a really interesting, this is a Victorian piece, late Victorian. We're looking at 1870s or 80s. A nice little marble inset. Dressers like this would have a marble inset as a place to put perfumes, cosmetics, because if they spill on your wooden dresser top, you're in trouble. I don't know if that's for sale. I think that's simply a display piece. But as you can see, we've moved into the clothing. So I'm going to go take a look around and see what we can find. Now, I know they have Oriental rugs in that store because it's printed right on one of the windows, Persian rugs. I don't know if the rugs that are in the booths are available for sale. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. I have this fantastic little rug that came from Lutz Antiques. Now, this was purchased for me. It was a gift from Colleen, who runs our little Sumi's Angels group over on Facebook. And I had casually mentioned in a video that I really loved the rug. I knew it wasn't for sale because I had asked once. And I said sort of casually, I'm going to see if I can talk them into selling it to me because I love the rug. Well, Colleen beat me to the punch. And I do love the rug. But ordinarily, when people are in the business of selling things, if they have something and you're willing to pay them a decent price for it, you can buy their display cabinet or the rug in their booth, whatever, because they're there to sell. So, and that's something to always keep in mind, because a lot of people are afraid to ask, or you say, is this for sale? They say no, and you walk away. Well, if they say no, and you really want it, you need to come back with, are you sure? Because they will probably sell it if you offer them a decent price for it. I really liked the rugs they had there. They're very attractive rugs. I did not check the backs of the rugs, so I'm not sure if they are antique. I do not believe those two runners were. I believe those two runners are modern pieces that are designed to look old. And you can get new rugs that look old. Not sure why you'd want to. Personally, I'd rather get an old rug because I'll get a better price for it and the old will be genuine. But I may end up actually going in there just for my own edification and taking a look at what they have available in terms of rugs, because I have not seen a specifically dedicated rug booth. And maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. Maybe I simply ought to be looking at the floor and see what's there and see if they are for sale. So, also, while we were looking at rugs, we saw that late Victorian bureau. And I'm glad we got a chance to see a piece like that, because those marble inserts, and you see all kinds of configurations of marble. Sometimes you'll see marble inlaid into the top of a dresser, so there will be a wood perimeter around the marble, and the marble is set in just like a blotter on a desk. But that was done to protect the desk surface, and yesterday we spoke about that in terms of the dresser trays. It was a very big issue in times past because bottles did not close well. The screw top bottle is, in the overall scheme of things, a relatively recent innovation. And older bottles would have corks. Sometimes they would even have cloth or paper tied over the top of them. So the fact is that when you look at our bottles, they close tightly, they don't spill, you knock them over, they've got a lid. No, wasn't always the case. So they came up with some really innovative notions for how to deal with that. And that was a good one. So, next up, this I did buy. So, $14. A silk and cashmere pashmina. I use these. I really do. I wrap myself up in shawls just like somebody's elderly grandma. And this is coming home with me. We've got a bunch of scarves over here. And as you know, I already passed by a scarf that I am considering. Places like this where you can get, oh, this feels nice, where you can get really nice scarves very inexpensively. That is the easiest way to inject a little bit of life into your existing wardrobe for almost no money. You know, the same outfit with a new scarf becomes a totally different outfit. One of the joys of buying things from antique stores, thrift stores, secondhand shops is you can get a cashmere and silk pashmina for $15. Wow. But I am a great user of scarves and shawls. And I was thinking about that before I sat down to do the video, and I thought, you know, if someone said to me, I have to start a wardrobe from scratch, you know, I've started a new job, I need a good wardrobe, what would you advise me to do? And I would tell them, frankly, to blow most of their wardrobe budget on a really nice jacket, you know, like a blazer, suit jacket, if you will. There are a variety of styles, and some of them have been around for 20 or 30 years. They'll be around for another 20 or 30. Yeah, go for that. Get a classic jacket in a neutral color, preferably navy blue, which is a good neutral, goes with everything, high authority, not too intimidating. And then take the rest of your wardrobe money and go off to dollar stores or thrift stores or wherever and grab scarves, because you would be amazed at the change in an outfit you can get from a scarf. And my scarves come from all over the place. I would say I've got maybe half a dozen that I have literally purchased at the dollar store. They were $1 a piece, that's all. I would just go in on a summer day and say, I like the look of that. It had little, you know, Mai Tai glasses on it or whatever. Cute, funky little pieces. And because I only paid $1 for it, I don't have to worry if I get tired of it, if I want to donate it in a few weeks. It doesn't really matter. I can go out, I can get a scarf simply because it goes with one skirt and absolutely nothing else. And I might not even want to wear that scarf every time I wear that skirt. It's the easiest way to get extra life out of your wardrobe, because the scarf just changes the whole look of everything. And I think I mentioned in a past video that I very often go on eBay and find sari fabric. This is when they will take the saris and cut them up into pieces because they're too damaged to just be sold. But these are beautiful, vibrant colors, and I get a stretch of sari fabric, and all I have to do is hand roll a little hem on it, and I've got a scarf. And they're fantastic. And I usually pay about $10 for a dozen of them, and that includes shipping from India. So, oh, and they are patterns and designs that you just don't see every day because they're not in American fashion. They're coming in from India. And in some cases, they are coming from very nice, very expensive, but very damaged saris. So, scarves. I believe in scarves. So I thought I would share that with you, mostly because I think it's a very underutilized accessory, especially by younger people. Scarves seem to be, the province of old women for some reason. The Queen wears a lot of scarves. So, what can I say? But I would share that. All right, that's what we have for today. Audie has left. The door is closed, but he has his own little cat door, so he can come and go as he pleases. And he just turned around and came right back because I mentioned his name. All right, yes, they know you're here. Anyway, he totally distracted me. We are going to finish up tomorrow, or at least we're going to try to finish up tomorrow, because I still have the area in the basement that they use for the indoor yard sale left to show you. And I got the owner on camera for a few minutes to talk about what's going on. But it was so noisy, I'm probably going to have to actually write up text so that you'll know what he's saying. We'll see if we can get away without doing that, because that could take a long time. But there is more. So we will finish up tomorrow. Oh, my mind is all over the place today. So my apologies for the disorganized mind, distracted by a cat. All right, we're going to do a little slideshow on the way out, something from Brownhaven, something we haven't seen in a while, maybe the birds. I did like that one. All right, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.